Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with a Pittsburgh Steelers preview and prediction for this Week 5 matchup Sunday night between the Dallas Cowboys and Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. Let's talk about this game, the first Sunday night game ever between Pittsburgh and Dallas, only their second primetime game ever. First one since 1982. I know they don't play each other that often, but still, second time ever. Kind of crazy between two historic franchises. So, Dallas's offense in this one, their run game has really struggled. They have been a bit of a victim of game circumstance, getting behind the Saints. They were blown out in that game, getting behind Baltimore, needing the pass to catch back up. But even when they have run it, they have been really inefficient. Dottle and Zeke is back, and they're averaging 3.5 yards or so per carry. Their longest run as a team this season is 12 yards. They've even used CeeDee Lamb, their star receiver, on some true designed running back plays. They had a crack toss against the Giants on a first and long situation. I think collectively their receivers have 10 or so carries this year, so they're trying to find a spark here. Hopefully Pittsburgh can really just play fundamentally sound run defense and bottle up that run game. You cannot let Dallas get going in this one. They're trying to find some run game success. They have a really big offensive line with some continuity. They got good size up front, at left guard, at center. So there's some big people that could, in theory, control the line of scrimmage, but so far it has not been successful. So that must continue. It's a real heavy inside zone duo type of scheme overall that generally plays well to Pittsburgh. Their backs are not super big threats. The one guy to watch out for in their backfield is really going to be their fullback, Hunter Lipke, which is kind of more of an H-back, Kyle Juszczyk type, where he'll do third down work, he catches passes, he's a good athlete, and they'll target him in the pass game. So number 40, Hunter Lipke, watch out for him. He may be their biggest threat. Just one more note on the offensive line. Dave and I talked about this on a terrible podcast today. I think this could be a really big game for Nick Herbig for a couple of reasons. A, obviously Dallas will have the attention towards taking away TJ Watt, as they should, as all teams do. B, he's going against Herbig, a left tackle in Tyler Guyton, who's a rookie, who played right tackle at Oklahoma, was pretty raw coming out, and he's kind of a lean, stiffer, taller guy. He's over 6'7". He's got good size, but can he be able to bend against somebody like Herbig, who just is naturally shorter, has built-in leverage? And if you see some of the issues that Guyton has had in pass protection, the rip move has really been an issue. I think he's given up a couple of sacks that way. Dave posted some clips on Twitter a short time ago, at least as of Friday. I'm recording this Friday evening. So I think Herbig could really have success with just dipping and ripping and running kind of through, not as a power move, but just kind of ripping through Guyton. I think that could be some real, quality reps there from Herbig in this game. Pass game for Dallas, it revolves around CeeDee Lamb. He's their top guy. Porter versus Lamb's going to be a really fun matchup. This is a game where you certainly will give Porter some help on third down, some bracket coverage. Imagine Minka will have eyes on 88 in third down situations. Dallas does try to move him around. They will try to get him isolated at times, but also when they spread things out, they'll put him as number 3, try to change his alignment and maybe make Porter go in the slot, which he can do. It's not completely foreign to him, but less comfortable doing so, defending the whole field, the whole route tree. So that'll be a primetime matchup there. Obviously, got to tackle the catch. He's going to get some catches. Lamb's going to make some plays. He's not going to be shut out in all likelihood, but you got to get that guy on the ground, make sure he does not do damage after the catch. Other ideas conceptually, it's a pretty horizontal passing game. They'll do a lot of over-the-ball type routes with their tight ends, kind of an extension of their run game because their run game has struggled so far. So their tight end, Jake Ferguson, will make some plays over the middle. They got good team speed at wide receiver, even without Brandon Cooks in this game, who will sit out with a knee injury. They got Tolbert and Flournoy and Turpin if he gets some offensive reps, and so those guys can fly. So I think Pittsburgh will match up generally well. They got team speed too defensively. Dante Jackson, the corner, can run with guys. So not that it's a non-concern. One big play, and someone gets behind you, you get beat, whatever the case is, watch out. But let's say horizontal pass game and just that team speed for Dallas, the skill positions, something to watch for. Defensively for Dallas, their run defense has been poor all season, with a caveat, but they've allowed 90-plus yards rushing in their first 3 games. They really did a nice job, though, against the Giants in Week 4, and that is really the caveat. So I shouldn't say all season. 3/4 of their season, their run defense has struggled, but I mean, the Giants had something like 24 rushes for 26 yards. Now, granted, the Giants are not exactly known for the rushing attack, but still, we saw Dallas tighten up, kind of similar to the Colts when they tightened up against Chicago, and they did a nice job controlling the line of scrimmage against Pittsburgh in that Week 4 loss for the Steelers. Got two big guys in the middle, Dallas does, and Linval Joseph, a veteran, and Mazi Smith, a second-year guy. Smith was looking pretty rough early on in his career, but had a really good game, his best of the season according to those who follow the Cowboys. His best game against the Giants on last Thursday, back in Week 4. So Zach Frazier versus Mazi Smith will be big to watch in this one, just how well can Pittsburgh establish the point of attack, get hands on good quality double teams and movement on Smith, on Joseph. That'll be key. Isaac Seumalo returning is huge for just his own presence, but also when you lose James Daniels, at least you get Seumalo back. Sounds like Mason McCormick will flip from left guard to right guard. And I think a group of Moore and Seumalo and Frazier and McCormick and Jones, they certainly are a capable run blocking group, but they have to prove it, have to be more detailed, have to finish better than they did against the Colts. And so that'll be big to watch at the point of attack. And just a quick, real in-depth, devil in the details kind of note, the Cowboys' D-line does not seem to respond to motion. If you trade the tight end, he goes from left side to right side, the D-line won't move. The linebackers move, but the D-line does not. So can you gain some gaps by doing some tight end trades and motions, and then maybe some gap schemes with some pullers to gain an additional gap, additional player where the D-line is sort of out of position and backside? That's probably an option in this one. I'd be looking at that in this game to try to get a numbers advantage in the run game. Pass game for Dallas, I think they're still a pretty aggressive team overall. They like to really try to make plays on the football, be aggressive. I think play action can fool them. I think double moves can fool them. I think pump fakes, and just if they can take the cheese, then you can really make some big plays against Dallas. Even things like boot action, where they'll kind of try to bite on run fakes. I think Pittsburgh has to sell their run fakes more with low hat from the offensive line, better run fakes from Justin Fields. But there was an opportunity there against Dallas. They play a lot of zone. It's kind of cover 3, cover 4, quarters defense. They want their safeties to be able to help in run support. They have injuries there too. Deron Bland's not playing this week. We'll see about Trayvon Diggs. He's been banged up with an ankle injury, questionable as of this recording here Friday. So we'll see about that. But I think Pickens and company can make some plays here. They certainly are. There's a favorable matchup when it comes to the pass game against Dallas. Big thing to watch for in this one is some of the sim pressures that Mike Zimmer will use on third down. He'll double barrel a gap with the linebackers and show some intense pressure. Sometimes they rush, sometimes they drop out. Have to be able to figure all that out. If we get some third down work from Aaron Shamklin in this game, however Pittsburgh handles the running back rotation, because Jalen Warren, Cordell Patterson are out, that's going to be important in this one. Pittsburgh, though, thankfully will be at home, and so the silent count should not be an issue, should not be a factor, and hopefully things operationally are clean, but still have to account for those blitz looks that Dallas will offer on third down. Final note on this one, you guys know I love special teams, and there's a lot to love in this game. Boz or Pittsburgh, obviously, but for Dallas, they got a fantastic kicker in Brandon Aubrey, probably the best deep-range kicker in the NFL. He's hit one from 65 this year, hit one from 66 in the preseason. So you cross the 50, they're in theoretical field goal range, even knowing how difficult of a place Acrisure might be to play, and it is. But you can't count out Aubrey coming out for a 60-yarder, even in a game like this, where the weather, I think, will be pretty good overall. And Dallas also has a really good return guy in Kevontae Turpin, who has a really cool story. Talked about this on the podcast this morning. He was in European leagues playing for a Poland team, and then he came over back to the States and was in the USFL and had a great spring there. Found his way to Dallas in 2023, stuck and impressed, and he's got a punt return touchdown this year, and so a big-time threat. So better be on the P's and Q's when it comes to the return game, and special teams overall could be the deciding factor between two great kickers. Who makes the last kick may determine this game. So for my prediction in this one, and I'm on a 2-game losing streak here, but I'll take the Steelers in this one, 27-23. I'm sure some are upset about that. I may be the kiss of death, but I'll take Pittsburgh. I just think the run game will have more success. I think when you face a Dallas team that will struggle to get a run game going, Pittsburgh matches up well. The Steelers, despite having some injuries, are to me still the healthier team overall. When Dallas is without Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, and Diggs' health is uncertain right now, that's advantage Pittsburgh. Obviously, a lot of those big concerns are washed away. How do you block up Parsons? How do you deal with Lawrence? Non-factors, obviously. And I think Pittsburgh's pass rush will be more effective in this game than the Colts game. Herbig on Guyton, one to watch. And, of course, DJ Watt. Would not expect him to have a quiet game 2 weeks in a row. I know he was held some. I thought the Colts had a good game plan about that. We're not going to revisit all of those things. So I got Pittsburgh winning, a little higher scoring than usual, 27-23. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Drop your score predictions in the comments as well. Do you have Pittsburgh winning this one, or will they have their first losing streak of the season and drop to 3-2? Again, please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. We'll have post-game analysis. It'll be very late, really, I should say early on Monday morning, but we'll have a quick video after the game wraps up. And, of course, check out the site, SteelersDepot.com, where we'll have full analysis and recap to the podcast on Monday to really break down this Steelers-Cowboys game. So thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.